Rants from a Crazy Gen Xer. My name's Natalie, and I am your Crazy Gen Xer. What I want to say today is we're going to talk about what Donnie the Holocauster, our president of war, basically said over the weekend. He said he is sending the Marines in, and they're going on the mission of removing the uranium dust, which basically means he is begging Iran, say, listen, I want to end the war. Let us come in and let us take some of this uranium dust to prove that we did something. Then I can turn around and say, yep, we accomplished our mission and we're out. There's a couple problems with this particular scenario. I don't think Iran wants to end this war. Because what has been said is that Iran wants insurance that this will never happen again. Not in 10 years, not in 20 years, not in 50 years. They want to put an end to it. They have been fighting the terrorist regime of Israel for 70 years. And they want it to be over. They're done with these terrorists. And that is who Israel is. They are terrorists. Make no mistake about that. So I don't think that Iran is willing to go ahead and play ball with this, because they did play ball last year. And what did that accomplish? It accomplished nothing. So, and now killing their leadership and pretty much the only people preventing Iran from getting a nuclear weapon was not a very good idea to do. Because now the whole world sees North Korea was smart. North Korea said, F you, we're creating a nuke. Even though it was all this hype, oh, if they get a nuke, they're going to kill us. Has it happened? No, they haven't used it. The only people to still use these weapons is the United States and the terrorist regime of Israel. And while the terrorist regime of Israel may have not actually, they may have in Gaza, who knows, but as far as we know, they haven't used nuclear weapons. I mean, I'm saying that they may have in Gaza due to the fact that in Gaza, they do like testing for new weapons, and they want to make nuclear weapons that are small so that they don't do big impacts. So they want to only put a little bit of nuclear material on a missile or, a drone, and be able to do small portions of this, okay, which is believed to have happened in Gaza over the last 3.5 years. Well, 3+ years, I should say. So that's the thing that they're doing over there. And so Iran has made all of these demands. Basically, they're saying they want reparations, they want sanctions relief, they want Israel to move back to their 1948 borders, and they want the U.S. out of the Middle East completely. These are their demands because they have to assure that this can never happen again. Iran is winning this. No matter what, Donnie the Holocauster says, Iran is winning. They are winning on the battle. It's not really a battlefield. Yes, they're taking a whole lot of damage, and a lot of Iranians are dying. But they're winning because look at the state of the U.S. economy. Look at your gas prices climbing every day, every week, in fact. Okay, imagine we're probably going to get a 20% bump in our gas this week because the markets aren't believing that Donnie the Holocauster can actually rein any of this in. And this is going to be bad. And also, the oil ships that are coming out of the Strait of Hormuz are paying in the Chinese yuan and not the petrodollar. So they're actually removing the petrodollar, which is what gives the United States so much power. Okay? It's what gives the US the ability to strangle countries like Russia, Ukraine, or Iran, North Korea. It was Venezuela, but they were able to con that lady who was the VP. And I said this in some other video, how I believe she was the one person involved in this whole thing, because she was the one person close enough to the presidency to actually be able to give stand down orders to the military. Okay. It wasn't her just alone, but that lady that was wanting to be president, who ran, and I don't know if she really lost or if she won and it was just taken from her. I don't know. It's not my election. We have our own sham elections here in the US, so I can't be discussing other people's sham elections, okay? It's not my place to discuss that. Nor do I really care who runs another country, okay? I do care that they're not murdering their people, but our country murders our people too, okay? It's not like we don't murder our own. So, and lock up our own on fake charges. You know? So it's not like we aren't participating in some of this crap too. So, that's here nor there. But, it was just awfully weird that she happened to be in Russia at the time, and, you know. So I do think that she was involved in it, and I do think she probably did take the payout, you know? And that's going to be a mess for several years, but there's other countries that are involved. I mean, poor Cuba, which I feel so bad for. I mean, they're just a tiny little island, okay? And they were supposed to be able to have sovereignty, but when, you know, Big Sugar got involved in this whole mess, and the Cuban people wanted to take back their stuff for their people because their people were starving to death. Rural counties before Castro, okay, under this dictatorship that the U.S. installed into Cuba, okay, was in there. Their rural area almost had no plumbing, okay? No running water, no sewage, okay? So it was like a complete dumping area, okay? The people working on the farms, like getting the sugar cane and stuff and working these farms, they were being paid about $6 a week, okay? And there was 75% of all the people in the rural area suffering from food insecurity. So there was a lot of problems in this, okay? Sure, the cities, when they have casinos and hotels and this whole nightlife where they hosted visitors from all around the world would come. Sure, that was doing well, but those were private businesses and not money that the country of Cuba could use for, you know, their citizens. So there is that as well. So this is how the United States is able to do all this. It's through the fact that everything is traded in the petrodollar, which Iran is ruining right now. So that's why I say Iran is winning. So why would they give any of that up? And they're also winning in public opinion. Okay, if you've seen their Lego videos coming out, they are top-notch, hilarious, and quite accurate. what is actually going on. So there's that too. Now, there's a lot of that going around, and then there is also, the fact that Iran doesn't want the Palestinians to be murdered. I know Israel has been able to install a dictatorship into Jordan, Syria, recently Syria, and Egypt, okay? Kind of Lebanon too, I want to say kind of sort of Lebanon, which these governments basically have turned against the Palestinian people. They basically hate them. Like Sisi of Egypt hates the Palestinians, okay? And that is why he is in control of Egypt, okay? And what their militaries consist of is killing their own citizens. Like Egypt and Jordan are constantly murdering their citizens to protect Israel. And they don't really have an actual military that could defend themselves from foreigners like Israel from invading. And Israel loves this because if they ever do decide to get a new leader, Israel can easily go in and wipe them out because they do not have the military forces nor the materials to defend themselves. And that's how Israel wants Iran. Okay? They did it in Libya. Libya is like completely chaotic right now. Okay? And in Syria, they decided to take a Muslim Brotherhood, who is this big terrorist organization, but it's awfully odd that, the Muslim Brotherhood and ISIS and all these other people never attacked Israel. They just attacked the countries around them, but never actually attacked Israel. It's awfully weird seeing how they're saying that they're the huge enemy of them. Why wouldn't they attack you if they're such your enemy? But I digress. We're going to move on. So they basically took this Muslim Brotherhood guy and made him the president. And now he is basically a king and running around and getting the red carpet rolled out to him, which is so weird as well. I also find it odd that under this ballroom, there's going to be this huge military installation. And what that actually means for our White House and the safety of our country for the future. A lot of things go on, a lot of things happen. But my thoughts are for the day is that is what he's wanting. And he's going to send them in, and it's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be about like 2,000 Marines going in and about 500 coming out. And whether he says it's a victory or not, it wouldn't make a difference because 1,500 of them are going to die. And so if your loved one goes missing in action and has not contacted you, and they're part of the units that are going in, you can count them as dead, even if the U.S. military is not telling you they're dead. Or maybe the U.S. military will come to your house and babysit you and make sure that you do not report anything. That is what they did after the USS Liberty was attacked by the terrorist regime of Israel. So that's what they did to their Gold Star families. They sent the Marines to their homes and made certain that they didn't leak the story. And I imagine that's going to be the same effect of this one, because everything is always covered up with our government, you know. And I'm not blaming this all on our current administration, even though I can't stand him. But look at how Genocide Joe behaved, and look at how Obama behaved, and look at how Bush behaved, and look at how Clinton behaved, and look at how Bush behaved. I mean, this stuff goes back and back and back and back and back. Okay? JFK was the last president to stand up to the terrorist regime of Israel, and look what happened to him. And now Israel has nukes, and they threaten the world's safety with their nukes. If anyone is a danger to the world, it is Israel. So, that's my rant for today. And, you know, rant from have fun.